Hello and welcome to the News Agent podcast. My name is Victoria Brush and I'm a Senior Content Executive for Goodlord. This is a recording of our webinar, Willow Second Edition, Reimagining Lettings for Industry Professionals. In this podcast, we'll hear from Goodlord experts Costas Frangeskou, Emily Popple, Oli Sherlock, Phil Noble, Rhys Bartlett and Hannah Ward to learn more about our rent protection insurance, pro-referencing and our latest exciting release, Complete Tenancy Management. And now, onto the podcast.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the latest Goodlord webinar. I'm Costas Frangeskou, Goodlord's Director of Growth, and today I'm joined by several of my colleagues to take you through an update of our new Willow platform. Also today, we'll be introducing you to the new, much-awaited new offering, Complete Tenancy Management. Throughout the webinar, there is a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, so please pop in any questions that you have that you want us to go through. And any that we may not be able to cover off today, don't worry, one of our team will reach back out to you and get those questions answered. In terms of Thursday, as I mentioned, we have several colleagues that are joining me across the business, covering our insurance, referencing and product lines. In addition to that, we also have two of our customer-facing consultants, who some of you might recognise from your monthly meetings, to be able to talk you through some feedback from our customers, as well as covering other parts of our journey. So what are we hoping that you're going to get from our webinar today? Well, in November, we launched our new Willow platform, a 2-year investment to allow us to continue to deliver the best in RenTech, allowing Goodlord to continue to build on their products and services and release new innovations that make a real difference to you and make them faster. But rather than me tell you about Willow, we've got Phil with us today. It's him and his team that built it all, so I won't take the limelight. Phil, for anyone who may not have joined us in November, just give us a recap on Willow, please.
Yeah, so fantastic. So we released our Willow edition back in November with key kind of headline improvements, such as a brand new agent homepage, property page, tenancy pages, so like a whole reskin of our app. As well as our new expiring certificates feature, and also some major reference improvement announcements as well. So it was really, really exciting. But essentially what Willow enabled us to do is essentially move faster than anyone else in the market. And in those 6 months, we've actually been able to release an impressive 167 new updates or improvements or features on the platform, which is massive, from major releases like our pro-referencing that we're going to talk a bit more about later, to allowing landlords to be able to sign off on their references, and even small but really impactful improvements like being able to export tenancy data to CSV files. So some really great things. But what I'm going to do is later on talk to you about what we're doing right now and also what's coming up in the future. So I'll hand you back over to Costas.
Fantastic. Well, looking forward to that, Phil. Thank you. So didn't quite give you a manifesto, but we did promise you that Willow would result in improvements in our existing services, as well as the introduction of new offerings to further support customer goals, providing them with a more competitive edge, saving them more time, remaining compliant as always, and driving increased revenue, allowing the generation of higher profits for your business. So we're roughly 6 months on, and unlike many political parties, we wanted to update you on the promises we made and what's happened since. Some of the benefits have already been delivered, and you may not be aware of these yet, or you may not be using them. So today's webinar is all about making sure that you know what we have available for you. We're also going to be introducing you, as we said today, to our new Complete Tenancy Management package that's only been made possible because of Willow. We've taken on the challenge set by our customers to provide access to Goodlord's premium services in a more efficient and cost-effective way. But for those of you who may be joining us today that may not be clear on who Goodlord is or what we have to offer, actually, Oli, you've been here the longest, so why don't I pass this over to you? Do you want to just enlighten us with who Goodlord is and what they offer?
Yes, and good morning, everyone who's joining. Thank you for giving your time. We appreciate how busy you are, but this is quite an exciting development in the Goodlord space to take us from what really is a solely pre-tenancy business into a in-life tenancy support facility. At the moment, many of you joining will be benefiting from the decade of investment we've made, and what a journey it's been. Goodlord is here to support you through the entire pre-tenancy journey. So everything from referencing through to contract signing, to the first month's rent being paid, to your deposit being paid, and all the way through keeping you compliant. We're here to support those processes for you. Alongside that, I think it's fair to say we do hopefully a good job at supporting your revenue generation too. So things like rent protection insurance, tenancy services that really support both a better outcome for you, your landlords and your tenants whilst driving revenue. That's what we've been doing for the last 10 years. And now for the next 10 years, we're hoping to iterate that even further and indeed support you through complete tenancy management to affect in-life tenancy, to really be a partner throughout the entire lettings process. So very excited to be able to launch this today. A lot of work's gone in from the team there on here, but also all the team behind the scenes. So yeah, really excited, Costas, to sort of present this back into the wider group and get customer feedback. And to remind customers on the call, if at any time you're unclear about anything we're talking about, then please do use the Q&A at the bottom of the screen.
Thanks, Oli, and I'm glad you mentioned their in-life tenancy, because another benefit that Willow and Complete Tenancy Management has given us that we never had before is to allow us to widen our offering even further, supporting the life of a tenancy. So we no longer just talk about the start, but we also now talk about during the term of a tenancy and getting it ready for the next tenant to move in as well, rather than just the point of handing over keys. So the overall result is a new, better way to pay for services you need and already use. A fixed fee solution for the life of a tenancy, allowing our customers to better budget, creating a better cash flow, and removing more financial risks for both our customers and for their landlords. Before we tell you any more and go into more depth on complete tenancy management, let's first look at some of the products that are included, and also some of the changes that happen in those products over the last 6 months. And we're better to start than actually with referencing. And who better but Emily to talk us through?
Thank you, Costas, and good morning, everyone. It has been a big and an exciting 6 months in the referencing world. I think that's safe to say. But actually, before referencing, taking it right to the start of that move-in process, the vetting process of applicants who you want to decide who you're going to proceed with comes before anything else. That's something that we call pre-qualification, and that's included in complete tenancy management. It's really there to help you send forms out to the influx of applicants that might be coming up for the new property that you've put live and assess them against each other. So you can select who you think would be the best one to put forward for your new client and proceed with before you would take on that financial liability as an agent. Loads of our customers are currently using this, but we think more of you should. And the Willow upgrades and enhancements that we've made that we wanted to talk to you about today are included in CTM. And the things like we've got a brand new form for tenants to fill in. Instead of lick of paint, it's a lot faster. It's about a third less clicks. So hopefully they'll have a more enjoyable experience completing that form for you. As an agent, you'll see all of those in a list, and you'll be able to select directly from there the one that you want to proceed with in one click and import them straight through to the tenancy. So we're really trying to cut down that double data entry and make it really easy for you to manage all of these. Rhys actually is on the call. You speak with those in the market all the time. How has this been received?
Yeah, thanks, Emily. So, yeah, with the pre-qual forms, we're getting some great feedback, particularly around having those that have filled out an application form in one place. So the feedback that we've been getting from existing clients is that by capturing the applicant's data as early on, we're getting a full background on that person before we, even before we proceed to a viewing. It's whittling out those that are just looking, and those that are committing to a move. They are spending the time to fill out the forms. And generally, we're finding that we're getting these application forms filled out a lot quicker than the current way that some agents work in respect of manually sending a form by email, having to chase to get it back. Generally, we're getting it through same day. And then, like you said, because the applications sit in one place, the next big thing that the agents are loving at the moment is if a tenancy were to fall through 2 weeks down the line, rather than have to go back through the diary for over the last 2 weeks to see who viewed it at that time, all their applications are in one place. And then just one small other piece, pro-referencing, which I know you're going to come on to, is also one of the biggest things that people are shouting about at the moment. With the game-changing pro-referencing that they're now using, there's things that obviously others aren't doing in the market, which you'll come on to explain. And yeah, perfect lead-in for you to talk about that, I suppose.
Yeah, thank you, Rhys. Good to hear the good feedback. Pro has definitely been my baby. I'm very proud of what we've done with it, and it is now live. It's our current most popular referencing product, and we've enabled it for all of our customers to allow everyone to see and feel the real benefit. Pro that we announced in Willow was a reference product born out of what our customers were asking us for. It was a combination of the best technology in the market and a common sense, full fat reference check, still doing credit, income, ID, and residential checks with a team that were proactive, allocated directly to you, so that we could support you when you needed it. That blend was very, very important to us. The best technology was high on the list. What we've been committing to here is trying to remove documents. We're not trying to just take on fraud, we're trying to remove it altogether. So the two further ways that we have to verify income, our HMRC integration with Pro and our payroll integration with Pro to complement the open banking that we already have put us on a really good pathway to removing documents and are really helping us reduce those turnaround times down to 1.5 days for a full reference, which we're really, really pleased with, 1 in 4 being instant. The other investments in Pro that are out in the market and our customers are benefiting from, the investments that we've made in the fraud database, the disease database, and our overall risk service, it's allowing us to capture more fraud than we were before, 57% more fraud on the Pro products. So it's gone really well. It's been a really big 6 months. And I guess, Hannah, you and the team speak with our customers day in, day out. How have the conversations gone?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Emily. So I'm Hannah. I am one of the customer success managers here at Goodlord. And being a success manager, I get the opportunity to work with our customers very closely, and it's really been great to hear all the positive feedback and things that our customers have been saying. Some of our customers have highlighted how great our team have been, being super responsive, being informative, while others are kind of commenting on the new integrations that Pro offers. So that's with CFAS, HMRC, payroll, and how that has made everything super swift, whilst remaining secure. But JDM Lettings, who actually has recently partnered with us here at Goodlord, has said that they've seen a huge difference in quality, which is fantastic to hear. And they just love how friendly and professional our team are. I've worked very closely with customers. I know a lot of my colleagues within the success team have as well, who have been creating kind of client-facing newsletters and webinars so they can also shout about Pro, and how they have built this into kind of their landlord offering, whilst also utilizing the documents and all the leaflets that we have for all our customers, and they have access to in our agent hub as well. So Complete Tenancy Management only adds to the service that you're offering to your landlords and enables you further to essentially reach your business goals. And as Emily said, Pro was created off the back of customer feedback. So please do continue sharing your feedback with your customer success manager, so we can continue developing our products.
That's great news, Hannah. Always good to hear good news. And yes, as Hannah said, please make sure you're always feeding back to us, not just the good stuff, but please do the good stuff as well. But anything at all that we can help you with, because we need to know what's happening. So that's great. So Emily, we've touched on the products. It's great to see the feedback, and Pro's really working, and we've improved on the pre-qualification side as well. But now talk to us about how all this fits into Complete Tenancy Management.
Yeah, and it is really exciting because our best referencing product is included as standard in Complete Tenancy Management for that fixed fee, your tenants and your guarantors. You can also access using essential references, so they might be for your students, our corporate lets if you're bringing on that kind of client. Pre-qualification is unlimited within it, and also if you are a customer or somebody that wants to use the vouch referencing product and that use our integration and benefit from it, that's also included in the same Complete Tenancy Management monthly amount. So it's quite exciting. It allows you the choice to be able to select the right product for the right time.
That sounds great. And we're going to be touching on referencing and Complete Tenancy Management a little bit more at the end as well. So don't worry, we'll give you a bit more clarity there. I've actually had one question coming that I'm going to deal with now. Akhil, hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. Thank you for attending today, and thank you for your question. And yes, just to confirm, everything we're talking about today, Complete Tenancy Management, as well as our traditional offering, is integrated fully within Alto system. So nothing changes there. You still get the benefits of that integration. I hope that helps. Right, so what we're going to move on to next. So another product that we've seen a big improvement in is our tenant payment offering. And I'll bring Rhys back in for this one, not only because he's great, but also because actually just a few months ago, Rhys was running his own letting agency himself. So, and he was responsible for managing inbound payments. So who best to talk us through how these change, what these changes are, how they're impacting from someone who's actually done the job.
Thank you, Costas, and I'll give you that $5 later for saying I was great. So tenant payments, yeah, obviously it's speaking plainly. Obviously, all agents or generally collect their fee, obviously by a management fee from the rent that comes in. So to me, tenant payments is one of obviously the most important and biggest parts of the job, be it collecting the holding deposit, the completion funds, the monthly rent. Obviously, we want to get those payments in for you guys as quickly as we can so that you get paid as quickly as possible, which you can then, of course, pass on to your landlord and keep them happy as well. So as Costa said, I have been on the front line of lettings for sort of 15 years. And we all know that trying to get the holding deposit in at the first port of call, you know, we want to get that fee in, we want to get the business secured, and we want to get a deal tied up. So yeah, what we can do through Complete Tenancy Management, we can collect those holding deposits for you. We can do it by bank transfer or by debit or credit card. Obviously, the benefit of taking it by card then and there, whether it be at the time of viewing or you know, very shortly after, we're getting that let tied up as quickly as we can for you. Furthermore, we send receipts to both parties, so we can send receipts to both the agent and the applicant. So the applicant's not going to be phoning the agent anymore saying, you know, have you received the payment? Have I secured the property? What's next, etc. So yeah, all receipts go out to all parties. Furthermore, what we're also doing is we're now doing rent collection or tenant payments. So what we're doing surrounding tenant payments is we're sending reminders prior to the rent being due. We all know that from month 2 of the tenancy onwards, a lot of tenants do forget to set up a standing order. So we're just sending a polite reminder out by email saying, just a reminder, your rent's due in 3 days' time. This is the amount, and here are the details in case you've forgotten. Now, what that allows us to do is once we collect the rent on behalf of the agent, we then send it through within 20 seconds of receiving it. So there's no lag time at all with regards to the agent getting their funds and sending it through to the landlord same day. What we are doing in the background, though, is fantastic bit of tech here. Costa, say that you were to pay your rent to us today with your name as the reference. Generally, that would go into a suspense account or be deemed as an unallocated payment, and the agent would have to spend half an hour or an hour trying to find out where you live and where to allocate it to. Because of the way that Goodlord works with Complete Tenancy Management, we know that that rent will have come in from you and it's for your tenancy only. So we will amend your name with the property address, then send it through to the agent. So with these, especially these larger agents, you know, when you get an email come down from head office or your area manager once every 3 months saying you've got £8,000 sat in unallocated funds or suspense, we need to get it allocated so we can obviously obtain our fee. It's a thing of the past. No longer happens with Complete Tenancy Management. We change the referencing as soon as we receive the payment and get it through to the agent. So that's obviously a massive win and a big game changer. In terms of rent chasing, if we need to do any rent chasing, if the rent is late, we do that at regular intervals by way of text message. We evidence all of that and we have that all audited. So if there was ever a need to serve a Section 8 notice, we have all the evidence of all the rent reminders that we've sent out. And of course, that helps with a rent and legal claim if needed, which Oli will come on to discuss, I'm sure. With completion funds, we generally find that tenants pay their completion funds within half an hour of being requested via Goodlord. So 60% actually of completion funds come in within half an hour of us requesting them. And generally the feedback that we're getting surrounding all of this is just that it allows the agent to tell their landlord and reassure them that if there are any overdue payments, they're being chased consistently. Here's the evidence. It was last chased 3 days ago. It's due a chase in 4 days' time. We're doing everything we can. Fantastic news is this is all included as standard. It's no additional charge. So, you know, with everything going on behind the scenes surrounding tenant payments, why not let Goodlord handle it?
Fantastic. No, thank you, Rhys. That sounds amazing. Actually, we had a question come in regarding, you know, I already have a payment system. How does this work with the payment system? Rhys, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah. So in terms of payment systems, whether it be systems such as the Lettings Partnership, PayProp, whether it be your own in-house accounting system, we cater for all. So we can send the money through to them, we can send it through to you. Like I said, we cater for all. Good question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and just to fill a bit more onto that as well. Actually, we have a number of agents actually that are using this alongside a payment system. What we actually looked to create was fill a gap between a tenant paying and the system being able to pay out to the landlord. So a lot of the systems, if not all systems, deal with the landlord payments, but actually there's still a lot of manual intervention in having to reconcile, check, and understand where that payment has come from, why the amount might be slightly different. Is it paid in advance? Is it paid in arrears? And we take care of that whole. So actually means your payment systems are even more valuable now and closes that gap. So thanks for that question. That's great. Had another question in terms of, are there any planned integrations into any of the payment systems out there? Absolutely. We are looking to build that into there as well. Willow absolutely will allow us to have those conversations, and those conversations have started. So we're hoping to have more news for you later in the year around how we make that link even smoother. But today, what you can do is actually download a CSV file from Goodlord for all the payments, 100% accurate, and push those into your system, which means no manual typing or intervention, which is great. Right, so let's move on. So where should we go next? Let's go to insurance. So Willow once again has helped us drive and improve our process and features for our insurance products. Oli, talk us through.
Yeah, indeed, and just sort of highlighting the last piece from Rhys there. You know, these are normally standalone things, and they have been some standalone sort of features that we've already offered. The idea with Complete Tenancy Management is that things like tenant payments come just as standard for a really low monthly fee, I think is extremely beneficial to agents to really package everything in a meaningful way and essentially pay as you get paid. So I'm really excited to see the benefit of increased tenant payments coming through and flowing through actually to benefit insurance. And of course, rent protection insurance is an important part of the relationship we have with a lot of agents. And the vast majority of our agents actually purchase a rent protection policy on a monthly basis. And it's quite easy when you listen to these kind of presentations, and you're probably hearing just us saying how good we are, and we're just so great, and aren't we brilliant? And the reality is that isn't what we're saying. What we're saying is we've listened, we've understood that we can improve, and we've understood actually through the feedback we have from you as customers what our problem areas are. And it's fair to say, in times gone by, you wanted a better referencing product. Emily's just displayed that. Not only a referencing product vastly enhanced through Pro, but also a prequel that helps reduce void periods. You've also told us that when you have a rent protection claim, you want a smoother process. You want your money quicker. And that's exactly what I'm here to talk about really today, because the Willow concept, alongside Complete Tenancy Management, means that we've invested time in a brand new partnership. We've built out brand new processes, of which a lot of customers are already benefiting from our new enhanced rent protection policy. So we've enhanced the policy, first of all, to include things like enhanced rental payments after vacant possession. We now pay 90% of the rent for up to 6 weeks, recognizing that void periods are lower than ever before. The competitors out there will tell you they'll pay for 3 months at 50%. Isn't that great? Well, not really. We believe you're great at your jobs, and actually void periods will never be 3 months. We want to put more money in your pocket that actually means something to you and your landlord. Along with enhancements, we've also included property damage cover. This is an industry first. Our rent protection policy now pays for property damage. So where there's been damage above and beyond the deposit amount, we will pay up to £250 towards those damages. Again, putting more money in your pocket and your landlord's pocket to cover these kind of things. The reality is, though, you can have the best policy in the world. If it doesn't work at the point of claim, you're going to have problems. And we've listened to you. You wanted your money quicker. We've endeavored over the last 3 years to get that timeline down and down and down. And what we've ended up doing here is creating a brand new internal process. We now manage all of the claims processing from a payments perspective. And it means at the moment, from the point the claim of being accepted, our agents on the new policy are getting paid within about 1.4 days at the moment. Now, we're going to say to you, we're going to pay you between 4 and 5 days, but I want to highlight how well this is working. And we have thousands and thousands of policies on this, hundreds of claims a month benefiting from this already. So I feel confident to tell you that these kind of thresholds are achievable. In reality, what that means is that you have a single claims handler that sits within the Goodlord space. There's a Goodlord employee, one of my team, supporting and handling that claim, making those payments, speaking to you directly, and being able to update you directly. As part of the Willow enhancement as well, over the coming months, you're going to see more transparency on claims through the platform too. You're going to have better real-time updates. But in reality, what we're trying to do here is ensure you get your money quicker so you can satisfy the landlord's need. We understand how important that is. We've also listened to the feedback that you've given us. So as much as this might sound we're being great, actually it's from some of our weaknesses come some of these new strengths. And that's really thanks to the feedback that you've given. Finally, from an insurance perspective, we're reinvesting back into an expert team. You've got more people than ever on hand to support you to qualify why this product could be good, how it could work for your customers, and as importantly, how it could work for your business. We really understand that from a market perspective, it's tough. There isn't loads of new landlords out there just waiting to be swiped up. So one, Goodlord in its entirety helps you focus on hopefully winning new business. But in the times where actually that's a little sparse, you're going to want to try and make more money out of each let that you're doing. And an enhanced market-leading product like this, I think, really supports you either getting a higher percentage fee or indeed being able to sell this as a subsidiary service that generates mass revenue. I think it's hard to find a bigger needle mover than rent protection sometimes for businesses. So if you haven't benefited from this already, or you want to reevaluate what you're doing, then of course you can reach out to us and we have a team of experts on hand. The new rent protection product is fully aligned with all of this CTM enhancements. So it works alongside our pro referencing. It works alongside our tenant payments. It's fully integrated as part of the new proposition.
Wow. Okay. Where do I sign? Thanks, Oli. That sounded great, and thank you for all the hard work you and your team are doing in making our product and offering stronger. Thank you, Ricky Podiers, also for your feedback on Goodlord as well. And from one no-brainer to another, let's talk about compliance now. Everything we do, everything we focus on before we start any build, we work on compliance. Compliance has to be accurate first. Hannah, remind us what in the world of compliance do we have to offer?
Thank you, Costas. So yes, compliance, it might not be the most riveting and exciting topic of them all, but we do know it is very, very important, which is why we will always prioritize compliance, as Costas said, and we always will. When we're building our products, our services, we always have compliance in mind, and we're always also very quick to react. So I think a great example of that is, when the last updates were made to the How to Rent guide back in October 23, I think it was. As soon as those updates were released by the government, the updated guide was then sent to your tenants on all new tenancies going forward. So ultimately, we're taking on that responsibility when there is a legislation change or anything like that. So you don't have to, offering your business another layer of protection. And we're also, we partner with our solicitors too, making sure all of our contracts are watertight. One of the biggest pains that we hear from our customers is around contract management. So within our Complete Tenancy Management package, you guys will get access to our full suite of documents and contracts that are regularly updated in line with legislation and regulatory requirements. And we all know there's probably quite a few coming up. So whether that's a new tenancy agreement, a tenant swap, a renewal agreement, plus so much more, it is all included within our Complete Tenancy Management. And it's also worth highlighting, we also partner with ALA. So any ALA members, if you're an ALA member, you will have access to the ALA documents as well. So if you're an existing customer, you might not be using all of these great things that will help you strengthen your compliance. So do please reach out to your success manager who will be able to review this with you. And if you're looking to partner with Goodlord in the future, you can also reach out to the team who will take you through all of these great features and services. But outside of contracts and admin management, we also help our agents remain compliant in other ways too. Now, I bet throughout this whole spiel, you're probably wondering just how many areas of compliance our platform automates for you. Well, I'm here to tell you. So there are 38 areas of compliance that our platform automates per tenancy. So, we know you need to trust your provider. So please don't just take our word for it. As you can see here, what one of our lovely agents has been saying. Our bulletproof audit trails outlining what documents have been sent when, as well as those all-important checklists of those all-important documents is sent to your tenants so they can confirm, sign off that they've received everything And this really helps should you ever need to go to court. So these are just some of the ways that we're helping agents remain compliant in this ever-changing industry. And these are all included in our complete tenancy management package.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. Yes, absolutely. And as I said right at the beginning, we are a compliance first business, and I think we've proven that all the way through our 10 years, whether it's been the tenant fee ban, whether it's been changes in legislation, the Scottish market, the changes in Wales. We always made sure that our customers can continue to offer their services without any stoppages in there. So really proud of that. So thank you. Right. So let's go back to Phil, because right at the beginning, Phil, you made a great statement around well over 100 new features. We probably don't have time today to go through them all, but can you just give us some highlights of just some features that have been made possible by Willow, and maybe give us some hints over what we might be expecting in the next 6 months?
Yeah, absolutely. So, thanks to Willow, we've been able to build even more integration. So when we launched Willow, we went live with our CAMA licensing integration, and that was really exciting for us. And today I'm able to talk about some new integrations that we've gone live in the past few weeks. I'll also give you a sneak peek of a few more that we're going to have over the next few months, and then just an overview of what else we're building as part of Willow and Complete Tenancy Management. So first up, we've teamed up with the NRLA to create an integration with the Safe2 provider, who they provide property certificates from EICHR to EPC certificates and many more types of property certificates. And essentially, the integration is making it incredibly easy for agents to be able to obtain property certificates. So they can go onto our property dashboard now, view any certificates that are expiring or expired, and can directly link straight through to the Safe2 website and order a new certificate. And they'll be delivered without any hassle or stress. Safe2 organise all of the inspection and then provide a new certificate. So it's really simple to use. And we're also doing a special discount as well for agents as well at the minute, which is great. I think that's a 5% discount. So that's a great benefit of the Willow edition. Next up, I'm also excited to announce that we've completed our TDS custodial integration. So we've now got both TDS custodial and TDS insured. And that means you can essentially seamlessly register your deposits via TDS custodial directly from the Goodlord platform, literally within 2 or 3 clicks. So it's really nice and simple. Now, these two integrations add to all of our other partners, like I said, around CAMA, also Credas, Anyvan, this huge list, but we're always trying to add even more. So over the next few months, we're going to be going live with an integration that will make your end of tenancy process a breeze. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Costas has sworn me to secrecy until we actually go live, so I won't name names. But essentially, it will help with the whole end of tenancy process, from inventories to sorting out deposits, all of that sort of stuff, which is great. We'll also be adding to our Reaper and Auto integrations with a brand new CRM. I would love to name the names, but again, I can see Costas looking at me, so I'm not going to. But what I'm also going to be talking about as well is, over the next few months, is not just integrations we're going to be working on. We're also going to be working on adding an inventory feature as well as the ability to properly do tenant swaps. So speaking to customers over the last few weeks and months, it's quite difficult to do a proper tenant swap. Most of our customers either do a renewal tenancy or a brand new tenancy. What we want to do is make sure it's as compliant as possible and easy as possible to do as well. The same as well with rent reviews, either via email notifications with our landlords and tenants, or via the Section 13 notice serving. We'll also be doing another integration around managing landlord payments. Again, sworn to secrecy on who that's with, but that should be happening over the next few months. And then finally, the thing that I'm most excited about, which probably isn't a huge thing, but I think it's amazing, is that with customers that have more than 2 branches, we are going to be creating a centralized homepage. So you'll be able to see all of your deals that are going through from one place, which again is something that those customers have been asking for a little while. And I'm excited that we're going to be able to deliver that. So there's tons of things that we are doing, and that's all enabled because of our kind of connection with Willow and also our kind of dedication into complete tenancy management as well.
That's it. Thank you, Phil. Lots of good news there. And yeah, as the slide says, We do our very best to make sure we can live up to our promises, and we're making quite a few more for you today from that perspective. Before my emails and phone goes wild with people asking me who we're integrating with, I'm under NDA. I'm pulling the NDA card, but we will let you know as soon as we can who those other suppliers are, and we're talking to lots and lots more. So don't worry, you'll find out very, very soon. So far, we've covered some of the new benefits already delivered by our Willow platform, and as you've heard, there are no plans to stop there. More to come. We've also touched on the relationship some of these products have with our new Complete Tenancy Management package, but let's recap and maybe dive a little bit more into the detail of that package. So Complete Tenancy Management was born from a number of challenges faced by our customers. They asked us to simplify how they purchase products and services, including the volume of invoices they receive. And as we have a lot of existing customers today, I could probably feel a lot of you nodding at the moment on that one. But Bob, so what we've looked to do now is by having one new fixed price per tenancy, it doesn't matter how many contracts or references or payments are needed, we have you covered within that single payment. Next, agents wanted to be able to better budget, seeing potential challenges ahead in the market, and pay for their services in line with how they get paid by their landlords. With Complete Tenancy Management, by knowing what your total cost will be up front, it allows you to manage the property for the year ahead. You have a fixed fee cost to work with, so you know before you've even found the lucky tenants what your pre and post tenancy costs with us will be. Next challenge was to give additional financial security should the tenancy not go as planned. So what have we done? So with Complete Tenancy Management, whether you need to re-reference due to an unsuccessful application, or maybe you need to complete a mid-tenancy swap or require more references or more contracts during that first 12 months of tenancy, Goodlord will absorb that cost within that fee, so you don't have to pay any more. We know the average tenancy requires around 2 references, so we're giving you all an average of 4. So we hope with that, we should be able to cover any guarantors or multi-occupant properties that you have in your portfolios so that you don't need to spend any more than you had planned at the outset. Let's move on to saving you more time. So as you've heard from Emily and Rhys and the others, our pro reference has already proven to deliver faster results without any compromise. In fact, actually, the reference is even better. Providing tenants with more ways to confirm their status means reduced chasing by tenants to you and you to us. The extension of our tenancy payment offering means that we can take more of the heavy lifting away from you. You're not needing to chase payments anymore. And you get the thanks from your landlords for faster payments on us. Even better, we have moved into a world of reducing your time further into the tenancy journey. By offering services needed during the life of the tenancy and not just at the start, it means we can continue that journey, saving you time that you can spend on the business and with your landlords. Last of all, and this one might surprise a lot of you, our agents also challenged us to say, can we have more and can we have it cheaper? Okay, so to put it into context, so the average Goodlord agent at the moment we can now give them better service, because I'm struggling with this one. We can now say that we can give them more services for approximately 30% cheaper than what they would be paying for those services today. Even better, you don't have to wait until your contract renews to benefit from this. We could transfer you over earlier on that as well. Goodlord understands the challenges facing our industry and our customers today, and the value that comes with time to work with landlords, time to work on the business, and a greater opportunity to generate more revenue from products and services that your tenants and your landlords want and will use and will purchase from somewhere. So why not from you? So hopefully that gives you a little bit more detail into Complete Tenancy Management, but you can also reach out to the team. But I think before we go, let's just go back to some of the questions that have come in and see what we have. So the first one, thanks Lee for sending this in. Lee has asked, can you adjust payment due date, for instance, delay arrears chasing if you have agreed a different payment? Rhys, Hannah, would you like to take that one on?
Yes. Absolutely, I can take that. Yes, you can make amendments to your rental payment due dates. If you're with us as an existing customer, please do reach out to your success manager. We can set up some training. We can take you through how to do that. If you're looking to partner with Goodlord in the future, reach out to the team, and again, we can take you through that full package again to show you exactly how that's done.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hannah, for answering that one. Oli, I think this one's for you. Average turnaround. What, in terms of our new policy, what's the average turnaround we're seeing at the moment from payment perspective?
Sure. So this has improved massively under the new proposition. You would have previously been waiting around 4 to 5 weeks, to be perfectly honest. In some cases, more, as we've jettisoned away from an old partnership into the new one. That clearly isn't where we want to be. So under the new product, which again has been live since December, all of your new business policies are being taken out on this service. You'll find that is vastly reduced. So if you claim on day one, for example, we will start to mediate that case. We take up to 15 days to mediate. And try and help resolve that and understand the tenant situation better. That helps, one, for resolution, but also two, for mitigating circumstances later on in the claim should they be needed. That would be a maximum of 15 days. On average, it's less than that because we mostly understand the tenant's perspective and situation and then go straight into claim. From that point, again, as I alluded to earlier, we're putting our name against a 5-day turnaround. So a maximum of 20 days, but in reality, it's taking less than 2 days to make to approve and make that payment. So as you stand here today, if you make a claim today, you're looking at around 17 days, which fully includes mediation and indeed the payment being made to you. So we believe they're quite big material jumps from where the product was previously.
That's great. And as well, the landlord, myself, and someone who's had to claim on a policy, that's good news because it means it catches the next mortgage payments. That's great news.
It's worth mentioning just to sort of, while we're on the topic, so I see Simon. Good morning, Simon. I hope you're well. Has asked a question around policies that were taken last year. Will they be renewed onto this new offering? Indeed, they will. All policies are renewed onto this new product. So there is no price change for this, despite the enhancements in features and indeed the vast enhancements in the claims process. All of your policies will be renewed onto this new standard policy.
That sounds really good. Actually, Oli, I've got another one for you. It says they're all steaming through from an insurance perspective. Adele, thank you for your time this morning and attending and your question. If rent is increased over 10%, does the tenant need to be re-referenced?
Yeah, so it's a really good question, this, Adele, especially with how rental volumes have gone. So the first thing to note is that if the rent's increased in line with the affordability that the tenant could afford at the point of referencing, that's okay. That's kind of the level. Now, if it indeed they were maxed out on affordability, then you can increase the rent by 10% without the need of re-referencing. As Adele alludes to, anything after that would require re-referencing. And Adele, your point around making this simpler, I think, is a really good one because we may well see more of this. Now, as you're probably aware, only up until a few weeks ago, we were facing a new rental reform world. If you've joined any webinars in the last 5 years, you've probably heard me talk about this quite a lot. And indeed, that process would have required better in-life referencing processes in some cases. So yes, we are looking to improve this process ever more. But from a simplicity perspective, if you need any help on getting a reference live on existing case, please do reach out to our team. But you will see enhancements here. But don't forget, Adele, go back to the maximum affordability the tenant passed on it initially, as you may well be within those thresholds, and indeed could increase the rent by more than 10% on that basis.
Look, yeah, it's great. Thanks, Oli. Thanks for asking that one. I'm glad you're on today to answer those questions. We're now sort of 10:45, so I know plenty of people have jobs doing tenants and landlords to revert back to, so we won't keep you much too longer. We have got a few more questions. The majority of questions are, who are you actually going to integrate with next? As I said before, NDA card, can't talk about that at the moment, but we will make sure you're the first to be updated once we can shout about it. So don't worry about that. So that'll be the end of our Q&A, but we will reach out with any other questions that have been asked and get back to you with answers on those ones. Okay. So just to sort of wind up, thank you for your time today. If you're an existing customer of ours, please reach out to your success manager or your account manager to talk through a bit more of the details and see how it actually impacts your specific agency from a complete tenancy management perspective, and some of the new features also being offered from the Willow platform now. And you've got other contact details there. If you're not currently a customer of Goodlord, what have you been doing? But don't worry, we'll fix that now for you. You've got contact details there for the sales team. Please reach out to the sales team. They'll be able to give you a demonstration of our product, get an understanding from you on what you're looking to achieve, and also try and align the two together to see whether or not we are the right solution for you. But with all that, just want to thank everyone for their time. There'll be a lot more of these, as you heard from Phil. We're going to be introducing and making multiple changes. And we're doing that so much faster now, thanks to Willow. So we look forward to seeing you all again soon. Have a good week. Have a good month. Have a good year.
Thank you all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.